Hello, everyone. Merhaba. I think I've been practicing my Turkish. Merhaba. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. We are several parts of the world, and especially good afternoon for our friends in Turkey. My name is Marcelo Duarte. I am Director of International Relations at ABRAPA, the Brazilian Cotton Growers Association. Brazil and Turkey are two of the most important players in the international cotton market. We need to get to know ourselves better and better each day, develop relationships because we definitely complement each other and we are countries that have a lot of similarities. I would like to say that it's a big pleasure to present to you today the Cotton Brazil Harvest 2021 Roundtable in Turkey. Since this time we cannot host our dear clients from Turkey this harvest season in Brazil, like we normally do, this year seminar will take you to a virtual tour to Brazilian farms as we talk about the main figures of our next crop that will get to the market from July and August this year. Before the seminar begins, I would like to take to give a quick guidance on so we make the most of our meeting. In terms of language interpretation, our webinar will be available in English, Portuguese, and Turkish. Please choose your preferred language by clicking the interpretation button at the lower menu bar of your Zoom screen. You can choose the original audio, only English, Portuguese, or Turkish. Even though you understand me in English now, please choose English if you wish to continue in this language because we're going to have some dialogues in Portuguese along this meeting. Regarding Q&A, at the end of the webinar, we will have our roundtable session. Please send your questions through the Q&A button at the lower end menu on our Zoom screen. If any question remains unanswered, it will be answered by email by our team later. This event has been put together by ABRAPA, ANEA, the Brazilian Cotton Shippers Association, and Apex Brazil, the Brazilian Trade and Investment Promotion Agency, along with the Embassy of Brazil in Turkey. As this initiative can only be successful with the support of these organizations, I would like to thank all our partners. Tonight's host speakers are going to be Julio Bussato, President of ABRAPA, and Miguel Faust, President of ANEA. I would also like to welcome our guests who will be part of this roundtable. Mr. Giocan Ayman, Vice President of Matesa Textile, my friend from Turkey, Giocan. I would also like to welcome Ertuğrul Toriverdi. I can also call you my friend Ertuğrul because you're a very important contributor to the Brazilian cotton trade with Turkey. Thank you very much for being here today. He's a board member of Ensar Textile Turkey. Thank you all for being here as part of our Cotton Roundtable. Cotton Brazil also receives important support from the Brazilian government, through the Embassy of Brazil in Turkey. And therefore, I would like to welcome Ambassador Carlos Martins Seglia for his welcome remarks.
Very much, Mr. Marcelo Duarte. I don't know if you can hear me now. Mr. President of ABRAPA, Mr. President of ANEA, responsibles of Apex, Mr. Marcelo Duarte, dear Turkish and Brazilian businessmen. I am Carlos Martins Seglia, and I'm the current ambassador of Brazil in Turkey. Unfortunately, we are with these masks and the pandemia, so I cannot meet you person to person. But it's an honor for me and for my team to be here once more in the opening of the event related to the Brazilian cotton sector. During the last months, despite of the regulations, measures, and restrictions related to COVID-19 pandemic, the Brazil-Turkey business environment maintained its positive tendencies and expectative, strengthening the already close ties that unite both countries and especially the cotton sector. In this context, the cotton sector has been playing in a measurable part in creating opportunities for our economies and people. Being the fourth market globally for Brazilian cotton, a Brazil-Turkey trade of cotton plays an indissoluble part in this process of inception and growth of both economies and in international markets. In this sense, Brazilian companies and the Brazilian government considers Turkey as a milestone, not only for the cotton sector, but for our entire trade. So I would like to thank all the participants to this event and wish good business to everybody. And I hope to meet you again in a few months' time to see how business is going. Thank you very much and good roundtable. I welcome to Cotton Brazil Harvest 2021 roundtable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much for you and all the embassy staff for your continued support to Brazil and especially to our project, to our commodity, to Cotton Brazil. Thank you very much. Your endorsement and support is really important for the success of this initiative. Now, covering 99% of Brazil's cotton production and 100% of the country's total cotton exports, Abrapa, the Brazilian Cotton Growers Association, is a leading national commodity organization representing growers domestically and internationally. Therefore, I would like to call Mr. Julio Bussato, President of Abrapa, for his welcome remarks. Please, President Julio Bussato.
Obrigado, Marcelo. Meu nome é Júlio César Busato.
Thank you, Marcelo. My name is Julio Bussato. I am an agronomist, farmer, grower, cotton grower, actually, and also the president of the Brazilian Cotton Growers Association. I'd like to thank our ambassador, Carlos Seglia, and all the staff at the Brazilian Embassy in Turkey for their dedication, for their support to the Cotton Brazil project. Also, a big thank you to the Apex Brazil staff, our great partner in this project. And also a big thank you to ANEA, the Brazilian Cotton Shippers Association, and its new president, Miguel Fals. Also, a big thank you to all of you who have joined us here today for this meeting, people who have busy agendas, I know, the people who put their work aside to be able to be here with us today. Thank you. Turkey is a very important country for us, cotton growers in Brazil. In this current crop, Turkey will be the fourth largest buyer of Brazilian cotton and will be responsible for 11% of all our exports. From August 2020 through May 2021, Turkey imported 217,000 tons from Brazil. We are quite satisfied with the increase in those numbers, which were boosted with the help of you in Turkey. To give you an idea of the greatness, of the magnitude of all this, in the 2009-2010 crop, back in the day, 10 years ago only, Turkey purchased 19.7 thousand tons. 19.7 thousand tons. In this period, those 10 years, we have grown almost 1,000%. And we want and we will grow even more. As I could witness in a visit that I made to some plants and manufacturing plants in Turkey back in 2019, you have a textile industry which is very robust and quite consolidated, which services the needs of the main retail brands in the international market. We, Brazilian cotton growers, have made Brazil the fourth largest cotton producer in the world and the second largest cotton exporter in the world. In little over 2 decades, we have doubled Brazilian cotton production for the past 4 years only. And we can and we want to grow even further. We have the land, we have the labor, and we have the technologies that will allow us to reach that goal. What we growers need, we need profitability from cotton, and then we have to have good yields, we have to be able to control our production costs, and we need good cotton prices in the market. But what we mainly need is we need a buying market for our cotton. We need buyers for our cotton. In other words, we need you. And that's the objective of this meeting today. It is to inform you about the status of our cotton crop, both in terms of numbers, amounts, and also in terms of quality. And especially hear from you questions, criticisms, suggestions that you may have so that we can further improve our relationship with you. And so that we can have even better numbers. They're good already, but to improve them, I wish you all a very good, fruitful meeting. Back to you, Marcelo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now it's time to start the presentations of the webinar. We're going to cover the following topics. First, we're going to talk about current season numbers, the season that ends this coming July of 2021. We're going to touch the point of quality control, which is a very important point for Brazilian cotton production. Then we'll cover next season forecasts. Finally, a virtual tour with Brazilian cotton growers. And then finally, the roundtable discussion with our guests and host members, speakers. Regarding the current season, it's important to share some key numbers of the current season with you. 100% of the cotton has been harvested. I mean, current season is a season that when we are finishing the exports are right now. So the cotton that was harvested in 1920 and then 2021 marketing year. So it's the season that's finishing. So 100% gene, 100% harvested, 100% HVI tested, 97% sold by farmers, and 94% already exported. So pretty much we are in the end of this fantastic crop year for Brazil. So the cotton production that the numbers of cotton production from Brazil were 3 million tons, record, all-time record, at the highest number for the country. An increase of 8% in our production compared to last year's almost 2.8 million tons. On the map, you can also see the location of the main cotton areas in the country and also location of the main ports, with Santos port being the most important by far as a cotton exporting country. 2021's exports will be finished by July, and the numbers are looking like they're going to finish up at about 2.35 to 2.4 million tons. That's also an all-time record for Brazil. In the current season, Brazil should account for about 23% of the share of the global cotton trade. And almost one of every four bales traded worldwide came from Brazil. Our main markets are first, China, second, Vietnam, third, Bangladesh, and fourth, Turkey, with 11% of our total sales this season. Now we talk about we talk a lot about quality, but it's also important to talk about quality as well. Quantity and quality, they go together, and we emphasize a lot quality in Brazil. Brazil has put in place the SBR program, a cotton quality program for the country. This program has been established in 2007, and this year analyzed 100% of our bales, which means 14.2 million bales were all analyzed. The HVI analysis were have the impressive level of 96% of results reliability in 11 classing labs that are overseen by one central lab that monitors all the classing labs and is located in Brasilia, which makes sure the results are all trustworthy. Now, we have a message from two of our classing labs for you.
Aqui, neste laboratório, nós somos
Here in this lab, we are certified by SBR HVI and constantly monitored by the CBRA. Activities will start in mid-June with a forecast of conclusion for February. Our team is ready, just waiting for that moment so that we can start the new cycle. The forecast is to analyze 3 million samples. That volume accounts for 100% of the cotton in the state of Bahia, 20% of the Brazilian cotton as a whole. The Copper Fibra lab is certified by the SBR HVI, our local certification program. 100% of bales produced coming from the ginning plants are analyzed and tested and monitored, audited. A report is then issued to provide reliability to all those processes.
So our laboratories are ready to start next season, the season that we are just going to talk about very soon. But before we start next season, it's important to take a look at the results that the final results for our crop this last season, the season that 2021. So the cotton that was harvested in 2020. So in terms of length, it's the length above 1.08, fiber 35. So 98% of all cotton produced in Brazil is within this standard. So above 1.08, 1.332. When it comes to larger length, means above 1.11, fiber 36. We are working very hard to increase the percentage of our cotton that's got this larger staple. And these numbers have been increasing dramatically in the last 5 years, reaching 88% in this last season, coming from less than 60% only 5 years ago. When it comes to micronair, 99% of all the cotton produced in Brazil is within the range of 3.5 to 4.9. And in terms of strength, 98% is above 27 of GTAX. And when it comes to short fiber, which is a point that we are also working very hard, in the last 5 years, the increase of fibers of short fiber below 10% has been also impressive, coming from less than 60% to 80% in the last season. If you want to see the detailed results for this crop year and also the previous crop years, please access the website downloads.cottonbrazil.com/quality report. As you can see, not only the reliability of the HPI results, but also the overall quality of Brazilian cotton has been improving consistently over the years. And that's something we, as I said, care a lot about. And now let's talk about next season. But before talking about next season, I would like to really show you what our cotton calendar is so that everybody is on the same page in that sense. So in the top part of the calendar, you can see the crop year 1920, which was the marketing year crop 2021. So this is what we are calling the current season, that the season that we're just finishing the exports now next month. And now their main focus here is the next season, the crop that we're starting to harvest right now. It's the crop year 1920. It was planted last year in December, some in January and February this year as well. And it's starting to be harvested right now and will go and start to be exported from June, July this year until June, July next year. Now, let's see a video from our president, Mr. Júlio Bussato, talking about the 2021 harvest.
Meu nome é Júlio César Busato.
My name is Julio Cesar Bunzaro. I am an agronomist, also a farmer, cotton grower, and the president of the Brazilian Cotton Growers Association, ABRAPA. We are here in the state of São Paulo, kicking off our harvest season, which should last until late September. Planting conditions for this crop were challenging, especially in the states of Bahia and Mato Grosso. But fortunately, growers have very good planting capabilities. They are well organized and were able to get their fields ready for planting. We have reduced the planted area in Brazil by 17% vis-a-vis last year. When farmers were trying to decide what to plant, cotton, corn, or soybean, the profitability of the cotton fields was quite compromised. At the time, we were planting cotton at a loss. Cotton prices were below production costs. Actually, the final acreage could have been even smaller. And why didn't this happen? Because growers are aware of the need to preserve the markets we have already captured. And we need to preserve our teams, people who have been trained to grow cotton, and also preserve all investments made in cotton farming.
President Julio grows cotton in Bahia State, but shot this video in São Paulo State where harvest has already begun for the 2021 season. Now, let's take a look at other states and other growers. Let's make another trip to Brazil. At this time of the year, Abrapa normally hosts many clients from all over the world to visit farms, gins, and labs. Since this year it's not possible, we are going to present to you now Abrapra's Virtual Farm Tour 2021. So let's now visit our farms and see how our cotton is looking like. Please, let's play the video.
Esse ano, a gente teve uma redução de área de algodão.
This year, we had a decrease in area for cotton due to the delay in rain during the planting season. With that, we have a later harvesting. The crops are looking good, are well managed, no pest pressure, and we'll surely have quality cotton with excellent production levels. For next year, we'll have an increase in area, I believe. We'll go back to our previous planning for 2019, 2020, where we had a slightly larger acreage. Rains will come earlier, God willing, and we'll have a larger area than this year. In our region, most cotton fields come after the soybean crop. And this year, things were different because there was a late rainy season. As a result, our planting window was also limited to late January and early February. We have invested at the same time heavily in fertility and more modern, earlier genetic material to try to offset that delay in planting. We hope to achieve good results as we did last year. We have maintained the same acreage, around 2,000 hectares, and we'll be successful this year as we had in previous crops. The start of the planting in Mato Grosso do Sul starts in December, and harvesting starts in June, July, and August. And the quality of this crop will be very good, both in terms of cotton type and HVI results. We're going to harvest this field in dry conditions, which really helps improve quality. In Mato Grosso do Sul, we only have summer cotton. We had this year an uncommon weather conditions in April with severe rain shortage. But with the help of technology and the use of different varieties, we are able to obtain high quality cotton. Cotton fields are in perfect conditions. Crop development was normal, and production numbers and lint quality will be excellent. The Brazilian cotton industry strives to achieve increasingly better fibers, and this is done through genetics and management, always seeking excellent quality levels to meet the demands from different markets. All international markets can come to us today to find good products, I'm sure. As for quality, we believe that this year we'll have slightly better cotton than last year. We choose the varieties according to results from previous crops. We talk to other growers, to our neighbors, we analyze their yields collectively, we look at the intrinsic characteristics at the gene level, and then we choose varieties that meet our quality expectations and yield expectations. The labs we have been consulting tell us we have been achieving good intrinsic quality in the length produced here. We believe we can meet demands both domestically and internationally. And the perspectives are really good. The outlook is excellent. We had a good establishment of the fields thanks to the use of the best cultivars for our soil profile, and the yield expectations are really good. Of course, we need to dodge the boll weevil. We're expecting more rain at the end of the season, but the planning for next year, for next crop, is already in place, and we expect to resume our average acreage of 2,500 hectares. We are part of a group of growers who are walking together towards sustainability. We produce with excellence, and that's what we want. We want to become the largest cotton exporter in the world. It's very important for us to convey to you, you who are buying cotton from us at the other side of the world, we are here in Brazil are planting cotton for a better future. Here in Brazil, we grow for a better future. In Brazil, we grow for a better future. In Brazil, we grow for a better future. In Brazil, we grow for a better future.
So thanks to our farmers. It's amazing, these videos and these images, really impressing. Now it's time to talk about numbers. You saw the farms, you saw the impressions, you saw some farmers talking about situations of weather, and this is what will cause this year a reduction in the production, because the area planted in cotton in the 2021 crop season, that's going to be marketed in 21-22 marketing year, was 20% lower than the area that we planted last year. Instead of 1.66 million hectares, the total planted area, according to Abrapa, that's the last figure, it's in blue, light blue, as you can see in the graph below, it will be 1.34 million hectares. And that will result in a production of about 2.35 million tons, as compared to the 3 million tons that we produced last year. So these are the last figures we have. Of course, we haven't had all the cotton harvested yet. We're just beginning harvest, but this is the most likely numbers, and these numbers also match with the numbers that are presented by the Brazilian government, which is very similar. The yellow numbers are the Brazilian government numbers that were also released recently. In terms of exports, Brazil will see a slight reduction in 21-22, of course, because of the reduction in production, because we have a domestic market that's quite strong and demands 600,000 to 700,000 tons in Brazil. So in the next season, the share of of Brazil in the international market will reduce to about 20%. But as you can see in the graph in this slide, the projections of the Brazil's Ministry of Agriculture show that our exports can grow significantly over the next decade. In the graph on the bottom right, you can see that we can grow for more than 100% in the next decade, following this trend upwards that we're seeing in this graph. As long-term perspectives are very positive, let's talk about the future. Now, we have a video from our president that will show you the long-term trends of Brazilian cotton and what his views and the views of Abrapa are for the long term.
As lavouras estão muito boas. Eu acho que nós
Crops are looking really good, fields are beautiful, and we'll maintain the same yield levels we had in the previous crop. we expect to resume the previous planted area that we had last year. And we expect to remain, or at least very close to that. It'll depend on how market and prices behave for corn, soybean, and cotton in the coming months. In the longer run, we believe that the Brazilian cotton has tremendous potential to grow. We'll need two things. Number one, demand, a buying market, and number two, profitability for our cotton. That profitability will come from good yields, cost control, and of course, depend on the prices of cotton in the market. But surely, Brazil will, in the coming years, grow much more its cotton production. For the past 5 years, we managed to double our production of cotton in Brazil, and we intend to replicate that in a slightly longer period of time.
As you And now it's time for final remarks. As you can see, we have a huge potential in our country. And some points I wanted to raise is first, Brazil is a long-term player in the international market. And that's Abrapa's position, that's Cotton Brazil's position. We're here to stay. The 2021 harvest will be smaller than the previous season, as you saw, but it will still be the third largest crop in Brazil's history. The medium to long-term trend is to continue growing production and exports as long as the conditions that were put by our president are met. If we have demand, if the farmers have positive margins. Sustainability is also a very key, important topic in our discussions, day-to-day discussions. 80% of Brazil's 2021 harvest crop will be certified by Brazilian Responsible Cotton, which is eligible for 100% eligible for BCI credits, which we know is very important to your industry in Turkey. We have a strong focus, as you saw, in quality with robust quality control program, the SPR HVI. We have a Cotton Brazil office, first Cotton Brazil international office, and now in Singapore, that's where I am. So from here, I am closer to our main markets and also closer to Turkey as well. And we are looking for strengthening our partnerships and our relationships. And that's why we are eager to be able to visit again and bring our clients to Brazil again. So this is the end of this part of the presentation. And now, if you want to find out more information about Brazil, Cotton Brazil, please take a look at the website, cottonbrazil.com, our LinkedIn page, Instagram, Facebook, that we're going to have more information there. Now, I would like to open our roundtable discussion to bring, some to discuss and then to understand some of the topics and go deeper into some of the topics that we raised, and also hear the perspectives of our valuable clients in Turkey. We have, as we said, we have two important clients here that represent Turkey, and they were chosen especially because they've been to Brazil. They've been to Brazil, they've been to Abrapa, they've been to ANEA, and of course, they have a different view and a specific view on our country. So now I would like to open the discussion asking our guests, and considering that Brazil is an increasingly important cotton supplier to Turkey, what strategies would you recommend for Brazil to increase its market share in Turkey in the near future? So Ertuğrul, I would like you to start. And first, welcome again, and thank you for joining this roundtable webinar. So Ertuğrul, the floor is yours.
Hello to everybody. It's my honor to be here, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I always appreciate the work Abrapa has done. I mean, this is a voluntary organization as far as I know. not funded by the government. It's the farmers organization, and you guys doing a great job. And you show it with the numbers how Brazil improved their production and the quality. And when I was checking the numbers, you tested all the bales this year, 100% HPI tested. I think this is the first time, right?
Yes, we've been doing this for 5 years already, but it's getting more. Now it's 5 years that we've been doing this 100% testing. That's very little people know that. So very few people know that. But this is the reality of Brazil.
We have been using Brazilian cotton for last 10 years, or more than 10 years, and HVI lists are getting more consistent, more steady. We are having less problem than before, and Turkey is enjoying the Brazilian cotton. And this year, as I mentioned before, US cotton has no more 3% anti-dumping to Turkey, so you will be competing with US harder than before for the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years. It's a different challenge for you guys. And the quality is getting better, but okay, this is good for Brazilian farmers, but Turkey is investing on the open end. So I wonder what are we going to do about that? So please keep this in your mind. And I wish we were having this conversation in Brazil. I wish we were attending to ANEA, but unfortunately it has to be virtual this year. That's all for now, what I want to say.
In 2019 in Brazil, Jokan, we met there, and it was a great trip. And now I would like to follow up with you with the same question. I mean, and after you came back, after using Brazilian cotton, after knowing Brazil very well, what would you recommend as a strategy for Brazil, the cotton Brazil, to continue improving its market share in Turkey?
Obrigado, Marcelo. Can I talk Turkish? Is possible? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Herkese saygıyla selamlıyorum.
Hello, I greet you all with
Matesa Tekstil.
respect and affection.
Öncelikle Brezilya'daki dostlarımı gördüğüm
First
için
of
çok
all,
mutluyum.
I'm extremely happy to see my friends from Brazil again.
Uzun yıllardır Matesa Tekstil
For many
olarak
years as
Brezilya'da
Matesa Textile, we have been doing business with Brazil.
5-6 yıl öncesiyle kıyasladığımızda
When we
Brezilya pamuğunun
compare Brazilian cotton with
kalite anlamında
the
geldiği
Brazilian
nokta
cotton of 5
gerçekten
or
harikadır.
6 years ago, the improvement in quality is remarkable.
2019 yılında Brezilya'da yapılan Abrapa turuna katıldım.
2019, I attended the event in Brazil,
Ve bu kooperatifin yaptığı işlerden oldukça etkilendim.
and I was impressed by the work of the co-op that I visited there.
Geniş alanlara ekili olan pamuk tamamen makinalarla toplanmakta.
I saw that
Makinalarla
the
fırçalanmakta.
harvest was taking place using machinery. It was all automized.
Her balya test edilmekte.
Every bale was being pressed by machinery.
Ve araştırma gelişmeye yönelik çalışmalar yaptıklarını gördüm.
And I saw significant work they carried out in research and development, R&D.
Tanıştığımız çiftçilerin, kooperatif yöneticilerinin
We met a number of farmers and managers, administrators of the administrators of the corporations.
Çok iyi, dürüst, karakterli insanlar olduklarını söyleyebilirim.
Gave me the impression that they were extremely pleasant people, honest people, with good personal features, qualities. every single one of them.
Onlara misafirperverliklerinden dolayı şükranlarımı sunuyorum.
And I once again would like to extend my gratitude to them for the hospitality they have extended to me during my time in Brazil.
Marcelo'nun sorusuna gelirsek,
If I come to the question Marcela asked,
Brezilya pamuğu kalite anlamında iyi.
the cotton,
Ee,
Brazil cotton
Daha iyi, çok iyi
is
olabilir.
great from a quality point of view. It can improve, but it's a great cotton.
Bizim burada geliştirmesini istediğimiz, fabrikamızda pamuğu çalışırken gördüğümüz bazı elyaf değerleri var.
There are a number of fiber values that we would like to be improved, that we saw, that we noticed while we were processing cotton in our facilities.
Özellikle verimlilik indeksi,
Especially
spinning
the
index,
efficiency index, the spinning index,
kısa
spinner
elyaf
index,
indeksi, short fiber index, ve olgunluk indeksi, maturity
and the
index.
maturity index.
Bunu geliştirmeye yönelik adımlar atmanız sizin dünya piyasasındaki yerinizi
I
çok daha
believe
yukarı
taking
olduğuna
steps
inanıyorum.
towards improving those values, all of those values would help cotton Brazil to take a better position in the world market, in my humble opinion.
Türkiye, Brezilya pamuğu için büyük bir pazardır.
Yes, Turkey is a huge market for the Brazilian cotton.
Şunu söylemek istiyorum, kaliteleri
Allow me
korur,
to add this.
geliştirirlerse
If you continue to protect, maintain your quality,
pazar paylarını artıracaklarına inanıyorum.
you will doubtless improve your market share, increase your
Burada
market
çift
share.
taraflı bir kazanım olacaktır. Hem onlar
And
kazanacak
this
ve
will
hem
be a
biz
win-win
kazanacağız.
situation both for you and for us in Turkey.
Bunları söylemek istiyorum. Çok teşekkür ederim.
These are all that I wanted to contribute. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Gökhan. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim. Sort of. So I would like to pass to Miguel. Miguel, we see this point that was brought by Tugru regarding the higher competition that Brazil is going to face since the anti-dumping against the U.S. cotton is over. What are your views? I think you know Turkey very well. You know the Turkish market. So, what you, as a president of ANEA, could bring and as a strategist for Brazil to become more competitive, according to what Etuguru and Gökhan just said.
Okay, thanks for the question, Marcelo, Mr. Ertugrul. Yes, we know that this duty from the U.S. cotton is over. So we actually are going back to the same position we were 4 years ago. And the situation that we have with the other countries. The U.S. is a big competitor for the Brazilian cotton, as is Australia. And we are used to compete with them in all the different markets. So is not going to be something new for us. The strategy for us to maintain and increase our market share, I think, is implicit in what has been presented here. The Brazilian farmer is focused in quality, and that's the name of the game. The quality has to keep improving, has to be maintained at a higher level. But we understand that the Turkish market is also a market that buys not only the cotton, but also the middle grades and the lower grades. And Brazil, due to the extension of the areas that the cotton is planted and the different climates that we have from one area to the other, Brazil has a wide range of qualities that can offer to the different Turkish buyers, from the best cotton to the middle cotton and to the low grades. So the strategy is to offer any kind of cotton, any quality of cotton that the Turkish market needs Brazil has price, has quality, and we just have to keep on doing what we have been doing for the last 10, 20 years, being close to the market, understanding what's going on in the Turkish market, and being every day there to sell and be able to do businesses with all the different Turkish mills.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you. Now we have a question for Julio, for you. It's regarding the cotton area. So Brazil planted a record area the 1920 season, 1.66 million hectares, and then the area reduced 20% in this season that we're going to 21 that we're going to harvest right now. And what are your perspectives for the next season, the season that we're going to be planting in the end of the year, the 21-22?
Marcelo, first of all, I would like to thank our friends from Turkey for their words, the words that they said about us, Brazilian growers, and also to tell you that when we visited Turkey, when we visited plants, factories, we had the chance to get to know you better. Because of all of that, we are quite sure that you are also dedicated, decent people, and honest. And we want to increasingly strengthen our relationships and both our business and our friendship relations with you. As for the planted area, our acreage, I did mention in the video footage, but what really happened? At the time decisions were made, and that moment usually takes place in June, July, August. At that time, cotton prices in New York were way below our production costs. Today, we growers regret the fact that we reduced the planted area back then. But at that moment, we had to make a decision, and we had to decide whether to plant cotton losing money or plant other crops. And we decided to reduce our area. We could never have imagined that the market would pick up so fast as it did on a world basis. And somebody asked if this year we'll have a reduction of 400,000 tons, and the answer is yes. We expect to have a drop of around 500,000 tons in Brazilian cotton. We produced 3 million tons in the previous crop, and this year we estimate production to reach 2.5 million tons. As for quality of the Brazilian cotton, it will be similar this year to the quality levels we had in the previous crop. We are really working hard, dedicating all our efforts to improving the quality of Brazilian cotton and also to improving the transparency levels of the data that we share with market about the Brazilian cotton. Those of you who came to Brazil and had a chance to visit our central lab in Brasilia, CBRA, that tests and checks and monitors the 12 labs we have spread across Brazil, those of you who did that could notice, could realize the level of advancement we've enjoyed. 100% of bales are tested. And when we started that type of work, started building the central lab in Brasilia and having them monitor the other labs, the compliance levels that those labs had early on was at 92% when we started. Today, compliance levels have reached 96% across all labs. So we have labs, some labs have reached 99% compliance level. What does that mean? it means, or it translates in more reliability in the HBI tests results that you receive. And we want to improve even further in terms of fiber length, in terms of uniformity, length uniformity, which is also an issue which was raised. We are working hard on it. We have already identified that the problem lies in the seed variety for different cotton varieties. Some varieties which are extremely productive and interesting for us growers, those varieties will maybe will be planted less because of problems they might bring. Even though they're interesting, they might bring SFI problems, for example. So just to be sure, we are working hard on those issues, and we want to further elevate the level of the Brazilian cotton quality as a whole. Back to you, Marcelo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just got here a question from Kipas, Osman from Kipas, asking that we have seen intensive stickiness problem on the 2020 crop. We have never seen this before. Have you detected this problem on bales during ginning or later? Miguel, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, sure. Well, first thing, the stickness you can only detect after the cotton has been ginned on the samples. We've seen very limited cases of sticknesses in Brazilian cotton. It's only natural when you have a 3 million crop that some problems will arise in some situations, but we don't see is that a problem of all the Brazilian cotton. As I said, we've seen just a very few cases. And what I recommend when this happens, and I had one case myself a few years ago, through the tracking system that the Brapa offers these days, you can find out from which farmer and from which scene this cotton was, not only this problem of stickness or whatever other problem, and you can report back, and then you can go to the farmer and discuss this specific problem that he had, and then the farmer has the possibility to change whatever method he's using for the next season. I had a situation like this in the past, and the result was remarkable because this particular farmer never ever had any problem with stickness anymore. So this is a very few cases that we had, but I recommend this procedure not only for sticknesses but for any other problem that may appear when the cotton arrives to the spinning mill. So that's what would be the recommendation.
Marcelo, deixa eu completar essa que o Miguel colocou, que é o seguinte: esse problema do pegajosidade, ele vem de insetos sugadores, e que às vezes existe alguma falha no controle, às vezes algum talhão de uma fazenda, ou às vezes algum produtor. Agora, o que nós precisamos? Nós precisamos receber essa informação de quem tiver esse problema. Nós temos o sistema Abrapa de informação, que tem 17 anos, e nós sabemos exatamente onde cada fardo foi produzido, por quem foi produzido e onde foi beneficiado. Então, quando nós tivermos essa informação, nós precisamos levar isso até o produtor para que ele saiba do que está acontecendo. E assim nós vamos ajustando e melhorando o processo.
Thank you, President. If you want to reach us directly, please, you can email at cottonbrazil@cotton.com, and then we'll be able to track the bales and work with the traders to see where specifically that situation is. And thank you again, Mr. Osman, for your question. And now I have, how do you see, and the pandemics are going to be over soon. I mean, I want to see, ask our local panelists, Etuguru and Gyokan, how do you see, this the market evolving? I mean, is the market coming back soon? I mean, your main markets. I know Turkey is going through this exchange rate, situation right now, and specifically for Turkey, and also for your clients overall, especially Europe. You see the market picking up soon, as and how do you see the future of cotton Brazilian cotton, in how we can, in that scenario, post pandemics, in that scenario, where you certainly need more suppliers, more supply of good quality cotton. How do you see the role of cotton Brazil for the Turkish textile industry? So now you can start, Gökhan, to answer, please.
Obrigado, Marcelo. Eh, eh,
I think we had an issue with oh, there we go.
Oh, that's okay, yeah. Öncelikle şunları söylemek istiyorum.
Let me tell you first
Pandemi
this.
dünyayı olduğu gibi bizi de çok fazla da etkiledi.
The pandemic affected Turkey as
Öncelikle
bad as
hayatlarımızı çok
everywhere else in
etkiledi.
the world.
Hayatlarımız
It
değişti.
affected
Normal yaşam
all our
tarzımızdan
lives.
çıkıp
We've
dünyada yaşamaya başladık.
started living in a world completely alien to us.
Ama çalışmak zorundayız.
But we
Para
have to
kazanmak
continue
zorundayız.
working. We have to
Devam
earn
ediyor.
more money, and our struggle continues.
Tekstil anlamında baktığımız zaman bizim
When we look
Türkiye
at it
olarak
from a
pazarlarımız
textile sector point
Avrupa
of view,
pazarı.
this Turkish textile sector, from a Turkish textile sector point of
Avrupalı
view,
insanların dışarıya çıkıp alışveriş yapması
the people
bizim
in Europe
işlerden biri.
need to come out, do shopping, buy products, and that is essential
Bunları
for us
söyleyebilirim.
textile producers,
Özellikle spor giyim olarak bizim
especially
üretimlerimiz
sports clothing,
denim ve non-denim
is,
olarak bizi bu pandemi
denim,
vurdu.
non-denim, these products need to have
İnsanlar evde oturdukları için
demand.
biraz daha
When
zannediyoruz
the European
örgü
people in Europe
kıyafetlerine yöneldiler.
sit at home, can't go out, they cannot buy any products, and they, instead of that buying new products, they started knitting things for themselves, I guess. So we need them to come out and start shopping again to be able for us to improve our business activities.
Kendimden de örnek verebilirim.
I
Sizler
can
de
give you an
yaşıyorsunuz.
example from
Alışveriş yapamıyoruz
my
maalesef.
own experience. I'm sure you are having similar experiences yourselves, regardless of where you are.
Aşılama hızlandı dünya genelinde.
Vaccination efforts are gaining momentum everywhere in the world.
Bu temennim değil ama düşüncem patlama yapacağını düşünüyorum açıkçası.
I hope there will be some kind of
yani burada tabii pamuğa olan ihtiyacımız da çok fazlasıyla artacaktır diye düşünüyorum. Ancak bizim pazarımızın, Avrupa pazarının özellikle bazı talepleri oluyor.
Some kind of outbreaks. Of course,
aylı pamuk tamam. Onda
we do need cotton. That we will always need cotton. There will be no problem there.
Organik pamuk talepleri çok fazla.
But the demand for organic cotton is always increasing. There's a lot of demand for that.
Pamuğa bir şeyler katmak gerekiyor. Anlatabiliyor muyum? Yani ekolojik olması.
I'm not sure if I can
Az su
express myself clearly. We need to add something to the cotton.
Bu tür şeyleri talep ediyorlar artık
The
markalar.
demands, certain brands require these variations.
Biz de bunları ileride sizden talep edeceğiz.
So as we receive these demands from brands, we will pass those requirements, demands over to you so that you can respond and answer the demands coming from the market.
Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much.
All right. Teşekkürler. Thank you. So, Tugru, now it's want to see your perspectives about and how we're picking up fast, and you need when will you need a lot more cotton?
And do you want me to say good things or bad things?
Oh, wow, the real truth.
Okay, now, Marcelo, remember last year in June, we were all desperate. We don't know what's going to happen. And personally, I was thinking I was going to shut down the mill for the fourth quarter or third quarter. But somehow, business was good. And the fourth quarter was very good. And the first quarter of this year was extremely good. So we all know from the prices. But textile is evolving, as Gökhan said. Weaving is losing its ground. Knitting is getting more and more important. So with these pandemics and with these online meetings, virtual meetings, less suits, less shirts, more casual clothes. Also, we have to keep in mind the generations that the millennials are coming and they are not going along with the ties. They just like the basic t-shirt and jeans much more than everything. So it's evolving. But on the weaving side, the home textile was doing good, and Turkey it's one of the Turkey's strong suit. Home textile was doing a good job in Turkey this year. So if we summarize, with this pandemic, with this trouble, we had a great year, I can say. And the picking up is on our doorstep. The vaccination is all over the world. The countries are opening. This is going to end somehow. Now, Turkey's geographical proximity is becoming an advantage here with these freights because we are just next to Europe. So to provide something from Far East takes 20 days, 25 days. But if we just send the truck to Italy, they'll be there in 6 days, 7 days. Turkey's geographical proximity is a big and huge advantage in these cases, and it's reducing the cost as well. So what I see, the better days are nearby. I think we are going to have a better year than last year.
Fantastic! It's so great, so good to hear this. So good. I think we are in the end of this period, which ended up not being as bad as it was looking like, and now it's just catching up. And that's the same feeling I have here from Asia as well. I'm in Singapore right now, so this same feeling. It's gonna go fast. So now we have to move on towards the end of our session, and I would like to ask our guests if you have any other points you want to raise, and Miguel and Giocan at the group, before I hand over to Julio, our president, to say his final words and close this session.
Well, I'm okay. I don't want to add anything, but just thank all the participants that took their time to be part of this webinar today. And looking forward for the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miguel. So thank you. I would like to thank our guests at Tugru and Giocan. You were great, fantastic chatting with you. It's always really good. We learn a lot from you. I'm looking forward to be there in person. And also I would like to thank Marcio Gaioso from the Brazilian Embassy in Turkey, that for your wonderful support, that ongoing support to Cotton Brazil in Turkey. And also I would like to thank Eduardo Dragonetti is a good friend and is worked very hard to help put this together in ongoing efforts in Brazilian cotton in Turkey as well. So thank you, Eduardo. So tessicular, right? My pronunciation, obrigado, tessicular. So please.
Obrigado, Marcelo.
Obrigado.
O embaixador queria falar algumas
Did the ambassador want to say something?
Ah, já saiu.
The ambassador has already left. I had one question that was asked me about the outlook for cotton planting for the next crop. Growers are now making that decision. I'd say that by August, that decision will have been made. We have a shortage of corn in Brazil. The second crop of corn fared really bad, so prices are down. So that would be our quote-unquote competitor to cotton crops. But the sentiment of growers is that we should increase our acreage next year when compared to the area we had this year, and hope that we can at least resume to producing those 3 million tons we produced last year. As we saw in the video and as we've been discussing, Brazilian cotton today has good quantity. We export throughout the 12 months of the year. Brazilian cotton has been improving in quality, especially because of our SBR HVI program, which will lend transparency to those buying our cotton and also providing valuable information for us to increasingly improve the quality of our cotton. We have traceability of the cotton. We have our Abrapa identification system that traces our cotton, and we do have sustainability. We have our program called Brazilian Responsible Cotton, which for a grower to achieve, to get the seal, they need to meet 170 requisites across all pillars: economic, social, and environmental. Today, the ABR program is the most complete sustainability program in the world, because once growers have met Brazilian Forestry Code requisites, that's only in Brazil. Only Brazil has a forestry code. And we also have the honor to be able to say that 80% of Brazilian cotton features that seal, Responsible Brazilian Cotton, which, in a partnership with the BCI, since 36% of all BCI cotton in the world comes from Brazil, from the Responsible Brazilian Cotton. I hope very soon to be able to visit you again in Turkey and to be able also to welcome you all in our fields, in our cotton fields in Brazil. Be safe, be healthy, and in closing, we'll leave you with a final video, our manifesto for Cotton Brazil. Greetings to you all.
In view of so many transformations in the production and consumption processes, Cotton Brazil represents a new step for Brazilian cotton in the global market. After 20 years of constant innovation, research, and investments led by Abrapa, Brazilian Association of Cotton Growers, its members and partners, it's time to offer the textile universe a raw material that constantly seeks to evolve in quality and sustainability. The market prioritizes transparency, and Cotton Brazil fosters Brazilian cotton, emphasizing its support of the environment and its promotion of social and economic development. In our scenario, advanced technology and agricultural management tools add to the dedicated expertise of trained professionals to develop precision, sustainable growing practices. Supported by its calling for hard work and the search for continuous improvement, Brazil remains one of the main agricultural suppliers of food and raw materials in the world. We value productivity. We pride ourselves on being the fourth largest producer, second largest exporter, and the largest supplier of cotton licensed by the Better Cotton Initiative, BCI, in the world. And this journey gives us confidence to evolve and go further. Our field science is aligned with the delivery of a product increasingly in tune with the demands of buyers, spinners, and apparel manufacturers in Brazil and around the world. In Brazilian cotton, one will find proof of origin, traceability, quality, technology, sustainability, and now consistent year-round supply, thanks to a constant increase in productivity. Count on Cotton Brazil. Step by step, we grow for a better future together.